I'm Evie, and this is my channel, and I'm glad that you're here. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. I do specialize with brunettes, brunettes that are kind of graying and starting to gray and having to kind of maneuver this new change in our lives, because I'm a brunette that's going through the same. So I really can understand and walk through those pain points with my clients, because I'm going through them too. So my videos are, when I'm doing these long form ones, are unedited and unscripted. So here I am on the fly. So I just wanted to pop in, and I just wanted to share a new treatment that I just recently brought into the salon. As everybody knows, like, you know, the Brazilian blowout, those type of, a lot of those type of smoothing treatments have, there's certain ones that have been banned from California. They're not OSHA approved. Well, I found one that's OSHA approved, FDA approved. I was pretty floored because I'm pretty allergic to a lot of products, and a lot of things kind of like bother my allergies and stuff. So it's really hard for me to find things that are going to be safe for me to use as well as to put on somebody. And I found something. So it's called Sweet and it's Lovely. So the company is called Sweet and Lovely. So it's pretty gentle. It's super gentle, actually. They actually manufacture it in a skincare facility. So this company also they make skincare products, and apparently they use some of the skincare products in this product to smooth the hair. So I did it on myself because I don't know about any of you, my grays have really changed my texture. But it's like right here, it always gets frizzy. No matter how much I try and blow dry, no matter how much, like everything. I usually have to go in with the curling iron or a flat iron to really get it smooth, because I get these really weird, like kind of like frizzy, crinkly things. And then I have these like weird grays that are growing right here on the tips that are kind of like, they look angry. They're like, oh, you know? And so you know what they kind of remind me of? I don't know why, when I look at it and I see it on me, I always think of in the Munsters, you know, Grandpa Munster, you know, his hair. I don't know. I know it's kind of silly, but anyways. So the point is, I did the treatment on my hair, and I did it on myself. So when I was doing the technique in smoothing, it really flattened my hair, which I don't mind. But on somebody else, if I was to do it, you know, there's a way of maneuvering it where you kind of roll it out in a way that with the technique to allow there to be more volume at the roots, where you can still get the smoothness. So when I did it, this is the second time I've washed my hair since I've done it, and oh my God, it is so buttery, soft, and silky. And it's so easy to blow dry. I mean, I just blow dried and that was it. But as you can see, it's kind of flat. I do need a haircut to kind of reshape it a bit also, but that was even before the treatment. But what I found is how easy it was to blow dry and get this part smooth without having to use any other tools. So I was like, I'm really happy about that. But then I noticed that because it smoothed out my hair and it like it flat, what happens is when you have your hair smooth, the cuticle, right, is like laid down. So it lays down and it's nice, and that's what creates the smoothness on your hair. So now that my cuticle is really smoothed out, I noticed my hair color, it appeared to be lighter, but it wasn't. But it appeared to be lighter from the smoothness. And then you could really see the dimension, even though I don't do highlights. It created like highlights in my hair with the grays, because you know, the grays never really cover like opaquely like your natural, right? And since I do a semi-permanent on myself, I usually have more of this like fade, like a grow out, fade out. So it grows out with a much softer line because my formulation is very soft. Now, this is where it got really interesting. At the same time as this came out, that I did this, an educator came out, and she's a famous educator, and she's a colorist. And so she was doing some highlights on her client, and she was showing how she used an acidic color line to use as a root touch-up in between those highlights to really create an even more blended and even more soft grow out and appearance. Now the thing is, I remember doing this when I was an intern. The stylist I used to intern for, she used to do this all the time, and I used to do it too, but I did it a lot on men who wanted the gray there, but they didn't want the gray to be obvious. So I was like, you know what? I am going to totally do that. You know, you forget. I'm going to do it on myself as a root touch-up. Now, when you do this technique and this formulation, the gray is still there. It's not covered opaquely. Just imagine like a pantyhose versus a tight. So my grays are still here. I don't know if you can see, especially right here where I have a real town going on right there. But what I did was, they don't look as obvious as they were before, because before I did the color on the roots, they were much more obvious. They were very white and you could see them. But then again, I had it more blended, so it looked like I had highlights. It was incredible. Everybody I saw before I did this color that was coming in, they were like, wow, you know, your color looks so good. It looks like you like totally did something different to it, but you didn't. It appeared that I had highlights. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna, you know, do this technique, this formulation for my roots. And I really loved it because it kind of smoked it out a little. It kind of like they're still here and you could still kind of see them, but they're not obvious. It really, I mean, when you talk blending, I mean, this really blends. And I'm going to try this out for a while and see how I like it. And you know, I'm actually thinking of what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with different tones. Like maybe I'll do one maybe a little warmer. Maybe I'll even go, I'm thinking of actually going a level darker than I did last time and make it a little bit golder. I don't know, why not? So I'm going to play with the tones for a while. So I think this is what I'm going to do for the summer. And what this is technically, it's an acidic. Usually we color your hair, we cover your gray with an alkaline-based color. This is an acidic color. So this is what we would use technically for glosses. But you can use it for a root touch-up to cover your gray without covering your gray. So your gray's still there. It's just going to be real, you know, it's not going to be very obvious. And you're going to have a way softer grow out. This is really good. Now, I'm thinking if you were to do this, there's going to be two things that you need to know. The gray's still there, so don't expect it to be opaquely removed. It's going to still be there, but it's going to look more highlighted. It's a little camouflage. It's kind of blended in a little bit more with your color. Two, it's not going to last for very long. Now, depending on what kind of shampoo you're using and what kind of conditioner you're using at home is going to be a big player in this, because honestly, if you use something that's a little more, okay, I'm going to say it. If you're going to use Pantene, for example, it ain't going to work. It's going to be completely gone within like 3 weeks, and you might be upset. So you want to use a much gentler salon professional shampoo and conditioner. Another one too. Now I wash my hair once a week, maybe twice a week. That's another thing. If you wash your hair every single day, it's not going to last that long on your hair. You're looking at maybe like 4 weeks of it being in there. But if you wash your hair once or twice a week and you're using, professional brand, salon brands, I think you're gonna have a little bit more longevity with this formulation because it's so gentle, right? It's supposed to look it's much softer. And thirdly, is that 3? No, I think that's more like 4 because I keep adding one. And you're kind of looking at, if you do all those things, you're going to look at maybe a like 6 to 8 week visit to keep it up. So if you want to just, me personally, I would definitely stay on a routine of doing it every 6 to 8 weeks, because something interesting that happens with these acidic colors as you put it on the hair, it sits and stains the gray is what it does. So it doesn't really penetrate into the cortex of the hair. So it's not shifting your natural hair at all. It's not doing anything to it. So it just kind of sits and stains it. So with time, it just kind of fades out. But it's kind of nice when you kind of do it more often. It kind of builds up a little bit. Not the same way as regular color builds, because regular color will build on your hair and it just kind of really stains and kind of penetrates more. And usually if you want to change colors and color tones, it's much difficult, and you usually have to use removers for that. This one, it's not like that at all. So it's a much safer, you can really play with tones with this, and there's like zero commitment. There's like no marriage to tones or levels. So that's the fun part. So that's why I'm gonna really have some fun this summer with this color, doing this kind of color formulation. I used to do that a lot when I used to just do highlights on my hair. I used to, instead of doing highlights very often, I would just change up my color with glosses. But this time I'm gonna use this as a root touch-up service, and it'll last me a little longer, and it'll give my grays a different appearance, and two, it's gonna make it look like I have highlights without even doing highlights, and much more natural, because usually when we're doing highlights, even balayage, there's still a uniform and a pattern that we're doing. But here with your gray, this is like a natural pattern. Like, I don't really have much that go here, but it's all underneath, and it's kind of weird. I got this weird band going on. It's almost like a headband. It's like a thing right here. And then, you have like these weird little patches. So everybody has a different pattern of how their gray is. So it's going to give your hair like this natural dimension and highlight. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So this is something for, if you want to experiment, you kind of want to see what works for you. This is a really cool way of kind of looking into something like this, experimenting, see if you like it or not. Definitely, talk with your stylist and see if maybe this might work for your lifestyle. It's definitely something that, you're talking low maintenance. This is going to be very low maintenance, because you could just show up every 8 weeks and get this done on your hair. Your hair will always look really great. It'll have like an extreme amount of shine as well. That's the nice thing too about it, the shine it gives too. So so that's what I did after I did the smoothing treatment on myself, and I am loving my hair, and I haven't loved my hair like this in so long. And I don't know, let's see what else I come up with. I actually want to do this formulation on a few of my clients, and I really want to do this smoothing treatment on some of my clients as well, especially the ones that have more texture. They already have natural texture to their hair, and then the gray just created extra texture. So now they're kind of struggling a little more to get that extra smoothness that they didn't have to struggle with before, because sadly our grays do change our hair. It changes the texture and even the look and the appearance of our hair. So this is a really safe treatment. I have to say that I was doing it at home, and I didn't even realize that I had the bathroom door closed the whole time I did it. And I have a tiny little bathroom, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't even put the vents on or nothing. I didn't even think about it. I was floored. I have to say, I was really floored when I realized it didn't irritate me. It didn't choke me out. You know how so many of us who did experience getting the Brazilian when it first came out, you would kind of have that coughing attack and stuff. I know I did. Shortly after that product line came out, I couldn't do it anymore. And I haven't been able to be around it, sadly. But where a lot of my friends had like zero issues or problems, they were able to use it where I couldn't. You know, to each his own, right? And I was like really like surprised, like it didn't irritate my allergies, my skin allergies. And then I forgot to put gloves on, and it didn't even bother my hands at all. Like I didn't get irritations, I didn't get a rash, because even certain color lines will give me a massive rash on my hands, like really bad. So it's really nice to find something that really works with my hair and it doesn't physically hurt me. That's the best way of putting it. But yeah, I really loved it, and I think that's going to be part of my new maintenance routine for my hair. I think I'm going to do that treatment on myself probably every 8 to 10 weeks, and then I am going to try this color line and or try this new formula on myself. I personally used Marianella, her gloss. I love her gloss. It's really amazing. So I used hers. Let me see. I used a 6N, and I used, where is it? And I actually used I think I used the 5.7. No, I did not. I used the 6.8. So these were the two, for any of you stylists out there, these were the two that I used from Marianella. And I loved it. And it came out really nice. But I think I might go, next time I think I'm going to do a level 5 and see how that flows. But yeah, I think this summer, that's the one I'm going to be using this summer. I'm also going to experiment using the Magix 10, because Magix 10, you could transform it into an acidic color as well. So I'm also going to be playing with that one too and experiment. I don't know, maybe I'll do half my head Magix 10 and half my head Marianella. Why not, right? I can do it. If it doesn't look good, I only have myself to blame. But at least, just so I could compare the two and see which one I like better for myself. But yeah, so I hope this helps. If any of you are kind of wondering what other things you can try out to that you could include into your maintenance routine for your hair, these are probably some options and something you could talk to your stylist about. Actually, let me show you the product that I use for the smoothing treatment real quick before I leave. Okay, this is the one that I used. They're called Sweet, and I guess it's called Lovely. Or is it Lovely? Yeah, it's Sweet Professional. So this is the line that I used. So I really liked it, and I didn't have any issues or problems, and that was it. So I just really had to jump in here and share this with you guys, and I hope it really kind of gives you guys some ideas and things to explore. There's so many options out there. There's so many options to explore. All right, well, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.